Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video, we're looking at another land vehicle, and this one is called the Cuda M2 Compact, which is this lovely thing right here. So this is a very small, very compact land vehicle that features no weapons, but it has enough room for you to carry a passenger on one side and a few people in the back. Pressing F10 and finding the Cuda in the spawn menu. There it is. This thing is 271 small blocks using the Wasteland DLC pack and no mods. Got a nice bit of information about the truck right here, so we'll just give this a thumbs up, then move all the way around to the very front. So at the very front here, this is what we get. We got a remote control block front and center, so if we ever get separated from it, we can always call it over. Just below that, behind our barred window blocks, we got some reactors to power this thing, and they have been connected up to a container which is accessible from the top right there. On the left and the right of them, we've got our Wasteland spotlights with two angled interior lights just to light up the darkness. And as we move all the way around the side here, we'll see our lovely wheels, even more reactors just behind our hood. And then coming over to here, this is how we're going to get in and out. So moving to this part, we can see we've got our control seats to drive this thing around. This seat in front of me is the only one which has controls. The one on the opposite side has nothing, but you can easily set stuff up yourself if you wanted to. Yes, this is the view we get while driving it around. It's very nice, very spacious, and quite cozy. If we were to continue all the way around and come to the very back here, this is our trailer, where we once again got our Wasteland spotlights and two interior lights just to act as brake lights, and of course reverse lights. Moving all the way up to here, we can see a antenna, a battery, and a gyroscope. Gyroscope is always useful on the land vehicle. You never know when you need to take control when you go over a cliff. Yes, as for the back here, we've got a nice large space for us to store a container in if we wanted to, or with our new update, we can always shove a player in the back here, like so, and we can do a little drive-by while going past an enemy base. Or, if you're in creative mode and you want to be a bit silly, you can switch to the rocket launchers and, well, you can rapid fire them by switching between them rapidly. So you can just blow up anything on your way. But enough of that. If we were to come up and above there past myself, whose leg is glitching out a little bit, we've got a spare tire just in case we need it. We've got a little gap to get in and out of the top in case we get stuck on the sides. And we've got four lovely spotlights to light up the darkness. And there are some reactors and our little access bay at the front. If we were to come down and underneath, we'll see our wheel suspensions with a blast door edge just connecting them up in the middle. Continuing along to the back there, there's the bottom of our battery and a similar setup for the rear wheels. And that is that. So what I'll do now is grab my character and we'll get out of the back here. And now we'll just come all the way around over to this seat right here, where we've got nothing going on. If I were to come into I and find the programmable block, there it is, we can now edit this. We'll see that we have the vehicle light control script, which will allow you to do steering, turning, and front and backwards. So if I come out of this and move over to the correct seat, which is over here, and then start to move forwards, like so, and then start reversing, we've got a reverse light. Putting on our parking brake, we then got our stopping light. If I was to turn left, turn right, we then got our little indicators, which also work at the very front there. There we go. And yes, we can always press L if you want all the lights on all the time. So looking at our hotbar, this is what we get. Number 2 is our spotlight on and off at the very front there. So there we go, we've got a nice toggle. And number 3 is for our little spotlights at the front there, on and off. Number 4 is to add a tyre if it ever got damaged and destroyed. So you can just press 4 and add them on. And number 7 is for our reactor on and off, number 8 is for our battery on and off, and number 9 is for our battery to auto. So what we're going to do now is do a little test drive all the way around this place and see how it handles. So going in a nice straight line across this fairly flat piece of grass, we are capping out at about 46 meters per second, which is quite nice. We are slowly crawling up to 50, but I think that is the absolute limit, and mainly because we're going downhill. Coming to a complete stop by pressing space. Ooh, we're about to tip over. And there we go. It wasn't a great idea to do on the hill, but I'll just go and spawn this in and just go and plop it back over here. Let's just go and rectify that. There we are. And back we go. So continuing along to here, we do have some good stopping time with this, unless we're on a hill. And turning around, that's always something to check. Do we flip over? No, we do not. It's going to take quite some time to actually start to flip over while turning around, which is always nice to have. It's always a bit of a problem when you just suddenly flip when you try to do a sharp turn. As for going over some hills, let's do a little jump up to here. There we go, we've got some airtime. And we can land it nice and soft. This vehicle is fairly heavy, so we don't get too much airtime. It's quite nice. We're not going to come and clunk all the way down. If I can just try and find a cliff edge of some sort, that'd be pretty good. Like this. Here we go. That'll do. That's some airtime. We can control it with the gyroscope, and we can clunk all the way down nice and safely. But as for that, that is pretty much it for the Cuda M2 Compact. It's a nice little transportation vehicle for you to drive around and do whatever with. We've got enough space on here so we can set it up for combat if we wanted to. We can put a container at the back there if you need to transport stuff from one place to another. And you can always slap on a ore detector if you want to drive this around and look for precious resources. But yes, as I said, there's not too much else to talk about with this vehicle. It's simply a nice design. And there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around with it yourself. I recommend you do. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.